Welcome back to the new video. And in this video, we are going to talk about one of the most asked interview questions in Salesforce interview, that is lazy loading in LWC. So let's start. Starting with the basics as always, what is lazy loading? So lazy loading means loading data only when it is required. So let's say you are handling data, large amounts of data, and you are showing that to the user. On page load, you don't want all the data to load at once. This is because you want to improve performance and user experience. Loading all the data at once can cause page to collapse or slow down. So this is why smart developers implement lazy loading. So only when the user requires more data, you make the server call, and then you are able to retrieve the data. So what are the some of the real world examples of this? Let's say we are having a large data set of users and records. For example, in Salesforce, we can take account hierarchy, case hierarchy. So both of these is out of the box provided by Salesforce. And in the backend, Salesforce has implemented lazy loading. So only when you click on the arrow, all the child accounts for a parent account is loaded, or all the child cases of the parent child are loaded. So, as I mentioned, the problem we are solving here is loading all the data at once can slow down the app, which we don't want because it will affect the user experience. So, lazy loading helps by fetching only what's visible and only what's needed. So we have the in LWC we have the lightning hyphen tree grid, which we use to show or which we use to implement a parent-child relationship. Example, I was telling you about account hierarchy or case hierarchy. So within it, only when we click on the arrow of the parent record, the child records gets loaded. Not all the data is loaded at once. So here is a simple snippet. So yeah, within that we have within the data set we have a underscore children property, and once you click on the parent arrow, this property is populated. We make a server call, and this property is populated. Similarly, in a Lightning data table, we have we can use lazy loading using the on load more property. So whenever you scroll down, or like you can on page load as well, you can just give it a time interval that load 20 records at once. You can give the page size as 20. So in one server call, it will only load 20 records, and until it has loaded all the records, it will not it will make those calls. Or another way is when you scroll down in a lightning data table, when you reach to the end of the lightning data table, new records will be loaded. So this is the example JS snippet for it. So before we go to the next slide, I want to go to my org, and let's see a demo for it. So this is the app that I've created, LWC examples, and this is a tab, lazy loading in LWC. Let me just refresh it once to show you. So you can see the account records are loading. We have a total of 105 accounts in our org. And if I just click on the refresh button here, you see firstly 20 records are loaded, then 40 records are loaded, then subsequent records are loaded till 105. And this is the lightning tree grid case hierarchy I've implemented, and you can see only the parent records are loaded. Now, when I will click on this arrow, then only the child records will get loaded. Basically, it made the server call and got the records. So let me open 1026. Yeah, so we have one more child here, 1027. And then this is the bottommost child, 1031. So now, if I'll open it now again, you can see it opens very quickly because now the records are loaded, right? So it opens very quickly. But the first time I did it, it took some time because it was making a server call. So let me open for 1040 since it's not loaded yet. So it took some time, and it made the server call, and 1041, that is the child of 1040, got loaded. So let me go to the VS Code, and let's go through the code base of this. So there are two things here. One is the case hierarchy, and second is the lightning data table. Uh, LWC. So let me firstly close the Lightning Data Table LWC and let's look into the case hierarchy. So for now, I have hard coded the record ID, but if you place it in a Lightning record page, you don't need to hard code it. So wire record is called on the page load, and we are passing the record ID. So then once we get the results, so what we are doing is we are just populating the underscore children property as an empty array. Why this property? Because the lightning tree grid that we are using, so the child relationship here is interpreted by the underscore children. This is provided by Salesforce out of the box. So this is interpreted by underscore children here. Then we are making another API call to get the parent case details. So this dot record ID will pass this ID and it will get me the parent record details. Now, once I click on the arrow, we have this on toggle. On toggle will call the handle on toggle and then it will call this method. So firstly, it will check if this has children and it is expanded. If yes, then like make the call for to get the child cases. So we'll make a call to get the child cases and then we'll populate its children as empty array. Right, and then we are calling this function from here the get child cases, and here we are checking if it has the children content. Then again make this call until the children content is false. Right. So this is the functionality that we have developed for the case hierarchy. Now let me go to the Apex class. So in the Apex class, we have the case details here where we are passing the case ID and it gives me all the child cases of the parent ID, right? Here and where parent ID is this. With the child cases, it gives me all its childs as well in the same query. Right. Then this call is being used to get the current case details. Then this call is used to get the child cases. So let me just go back to LWC and let's check. So this call is implemented here, and this is we are calling when the handle on toggle method is being called, where we are giving the parent ID, and then it gets me all the children for it and then assigns this property underscore children if the array length is greater than 0. So yeah, this is how you implement lazy loading in a Lightning tree grid. Now about the Lightning data table with lazy loading. So currently in our org, we have one of five records. So you see it got loaded. So let me open the Lightning data table component account data table. Have the search functionality enabled. If they search for it, then they can we'll implement lazy loading for search as well. But let me go to the connected callback here. So in the connected callback, we are calling the load initial data. Load initial data, we are passing the page size and the offset value. So page size is in one single call, we want 20 records and how many records to skip. So in the first call, we want to skip 0 records. And then in the next time, we'll be skipping the next offset value. So this next dot offset value we are getting from the Apex class. So let us go to the Apex class account paginated controller. So we are calling this method which is get accounts paginated. So let me search for this function. So this is the function that we call where we pass in the limit size and the offset value. So we are just checking if the default value is not present, assign this. Then this is like a check if the object is not accessible. Then we are getting the total records in the org. So this just queries the total accounts in the org, right? Then we are querying the account records with the offset and the limit. Then we are checking if we have more records, how we are checking if the total records is greater than offset value plus limit size. And then we are calculating the next offset. If has more is there, then we are passing the offset value plus limit size. Like this means skip the next 20 records and get. So let's say that once 20 records is loaded, now you don't want the first 20 records, you want the next 20 records. So how do we handle it? So we use the next offset, and then Salesforce out of the box offset clause in the SOQL query handles it for you. So this is now this function is for the search account records. So this we can skip for now, but I think this pagination will like shows you how you can implement lazy loading in a Lightning data table using the offset clause. So there are a lot of ways that you can implement pagination through. Offset is one of the way. I'll maybe create a separate video where I'll show you how do you implement pagination in Salesforce. So so yeah, that was pretty much it. So for today's video, so in this video we learned how we can implement Lightning tree grid and Lightning data table with lazy loading. So and this is one of the most asked interview question. That was the motivation behind creating this video. So hope you learned something new, and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos in the future. Thanks everyone.